They looked like everyday cars. Grocery getters, quiet sedans, modest coupes. But under the hood, pure chaos. In the shadows of the 90s supercar spotlight, a handful of machines were built to fly under the radar, packing brutal power, race-bred engineering, and performance that could embarrass cars twice their price. No hype, no fame, just raw speed hiding in plain sight. Most people missed them then. Most still don't know they exist now. And today, we're diving into 8 legendary 90s sleeper cars you've probably never heard of. Some were ahead of their time, others were misunderstood, but every single one was unforgettable, if you were lucky enough to see it in action. Make sure you stick around until the end, because the final car on this list could destroy sports cars in its day. And yet, barely anyone remembers it. Number 8, 1999 Ford Taurus SHO. Now, if someone told you a Ford Taurus could be fast, you'd probably laugh. But that's exactly why this one made the list. On the outside, the 1999 Ford Taurus SHO looked like your average rental car. Rounded, soft, and quiet. Nothing about it screamed performance, and that was the whole point. But under the hood, a V8 engine. Not just any V8, this one was co-developed with Yamaha. It pushed out 235 horsepower, and for a family sedan in the 90s, that was no joke. Ford even gave it small design tweaks, subtle bumpers, unique alloy wheels, sportier seats. But unless you knew what to look for, you'd miss all that. Of course, it had its flaws. Some engines had camshaft failures after about 50,000 miles. But that didn't stop it from being one of the most mysterious performance cars Ford ever made. Only 3,300 were sold in 1999. And after that, Ford scrapped it. So if you see one in the wild today, know that it's not just another Taurus. It's a rare piece of American performance history. Number 7, 1992 GMC Typhoon. An SUV that could beat Ferraris off the line? The 1992 GMC Typhoon looked like your regular 2-door SUV, until it didn't. This thing had 280 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque, and could do 0 to 60 in just 5.3 seconds. That's faster than a 1992 Acura NSX. It borrowed its engine from the GMC Cyclone pickup, but this version had more style. All black, everything. Leather interior, and a ride that felt like a muscle car wearing an SUV disguise. The launch technique was legendary. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the gas, wait for the boost to spike, and let go. The Typhoon would leap off the line like a rocket. But despite its groundbreaking performance, it confused the market. People didn't understand why an SUV needed to go that fast. So GMC made only 2,200 units, and then it was gone. If the Typhoon came out today, it'd be a hit. But back then, it was a misunderstood masterpiece. Number 6, 1995 Ford F-150 SVT Lightning. Think trucks can't be fast? Think again. The 1995 Ford F-150 SVT Lightning was a true performance pickup. It was built to go head-to-head with Chevy's 454 SS and GMC's Cyclone. But Ford took a different route. They created a work truck with a sports car's heart. Under the hood was a modified 5.8-liter V8, pushing 240 horsepower and 340 pound-feet of torque. That's enough to move this beast from 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds. Not bad for something built to haul lumber. Ford only made 11,563 first-gen Lightnings between 1993 and 1995. That's a tiny number when you think about how popular the F-Series is. The truck even came with a 4-speed automatic transmission and oil cooler, helping it stay cool under pressure. But it never really took off in its time. People weren't ready for performance trucks. That's why it's now a rare find and one of the most underrated performance pickups of the 90s. Number 5. 1990 Mercury Cougar XR7. You probably haven't heard of this one, and that's a shame. The 1990 Mercury Cougar XR7 came with a supercharged V6, 210 horsepower, and 315 pound-feet of torque. But here's where it gets interesting. It had independent suspension all around, four-wheel disc brakes, and even came with a manual transmission option. This wasn't just a sedan, it was a performance machine disguised in luxury clothes. The computer-controlled suspension could adjust itself in real time, switching between a firmer ride for corners and a smoother one for cruising. Only 841 units were made, and today, barely anyone talks about them. It wasn't flashy, it didn't have marketing hype, but if you were lucky enough to drive one, you knew. The XR7 was a secret performance weapon. Number 4. 1995 Ford Thunderbird SC. At a glance, it looked like just another cruiser. But looks can lie. The 1995 Thunderbird Super Coupe, or SC, was the last of its kind. Ford only made 574 of them that year. But what made it special was the engine. A supercharged 3.8-liter V6 with 230 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque. And yes, you could get it with a 5-speed manual. What really set it apart, though, was the handling. It had independent rear suspension, which most cars, let alone American ones, didn't offer back then. It wasn't perfect. The interior was bland, the weight was high, and Ford was going through changes that led to poor marketing. But make no mistake, this car could move. A true sleeper in every sense, one that never got the love it deserved. Number 3. 1993 Oldsmobile Achieva SCX. This one's a deep cut. The 1993 Oldsmobile Achieva SCX was a sporty version of a car most people never looked twice at. But with only 500 units made, it's now one of the rarest compact cars from the decade. It had a modified quad-4 engine, putting out between 160 to 190 horsepower, depending on configuration. It was light, had optional ABS, and came with either a manual or automatic transmission. It also featured subtle styling tweaks that hinted at its performance, but didn't shout. The kind of car that could keep up in a race, then blend back into traffic like nothing happened. It was affordable, it was fast, and it was ahead of its time. But being part of the Oldsmobile brand meant it never got the spotlight. Number 2. 1992 Dodge Spirit R&T. This car might look like it belongs in your granddad's driveway, but don't be fooled. The 1992 Dodge Spirit RT came with a turbocharged 2.2-liter four-cylinder engine, good for 224 horsepower. That might not sound like much today, but in 1992, that was blistering. It hit 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds, faster than a Nissan 300 ZX Turbo or a BMW M5 of the same era. And it had a top speed of 142 miles per hour. The engine had twin balance shafts, double overhead cams, and one mean turbo. But almost no one remembers it. Only 1,400 units were made in the US, and even fewer survive today. If you see one, snap a photo. You might never see it again. Number 1. 1994 to 1996 Chevrolet Impala SS. Last but definitely not least, the Chevrolet Impala SS. This car was stealth muscle at its best. It came with an LT 15.7-liter V8, the same engine found in the Corvette. It pushed 260 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque, all delivered through a smooth 4-speed automatic. It didn't scream race car, it whispered it. The ride was soft when you wanted comfort, but stomp the gas and the big sedan would pull like a freight train. It came with subtle body mods, big wheels, and, at first, only one color, black. Later models got deep cherry and green options, but the attitude stayed the same. Only made for 3 years, the Impala SS has built a cult following. And if you know what you're doing, with a few mods, you can boost its power well over 400 horsepower. It's the perfect example of a 90s sleeper, quiet, confident, and absolutely deadly when it wants to be. There you have it, 8 legendary 90s sleeper cars most people have never even heard of. Some were too advanced for their time, others just never got the credit they deserved. But one thing they all share, power hidden in plain sight. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep dive into forgotten car legends. More rare car stories are coming soon. Stay tuned and drive safe.